Dirt Farmer J here from dirtfarmerj.com. I got a special treat for you today. I've got Brad Willodson, the man from OmegaStrap. He and his lovely wife, Sarah, are traveling out in the Mountain West and stopped by to see us. And we're going to talk about ratchet straps and how they've improved them. Hey, stay tuned. Hey, Dirt Farmer J here from dirtfarmerj.com. I'm pleased to introduce to you our viewer family members, Brad Willodson of OmegaStrap. Now, Brad, you've been working on this product for quite a long time, and you and I actually have interacted before where I did a review on this some time ago, and I really enjoyed what you've created. So I'm going to give you more FaceTime right now and just tell us a little story. What were you trying to solve? What's the idea behind the OmegaStrap? What's your personal experience with it? Take it away.
Well, like many listeners and watchers out there, I use ratchet straps in both work and play.
Right.
And they would just drive me nuts for a few reasons. One is I was always chasing a falling hook if I was trying to load up my trailer or something.
Yep.
And then I didn't have any control over the bail on it. That as I open it up, bang, things fall over.
It was either under tension or not, right?
And
on
then,
or off.
I didn't have any way of making it orderly, and that was I would have a bucket and I would throw them in the bucket, and then next thing you know, I'm doing a 20-minute job just to try and untangle them
to get ready to put them back to work, right? Yeah.
Yep. And I know that's been a problem for a lot of people, so I started doing some things for myself just to try and have my own arsenal of ratchet straps that I thought worked better. And then they were seen by some of my friends who said, you know, that's pretty cool. Why don't you take that step farther? And so that started a big journey about 6 years ago, including trips to China, trips to India, the whole legal gamut of figuring out how to do patents and how to make a business start. And, you know, someday we're going to make a profit at this, I think. But the one goal in my life is to be driving through Salt Lake City, which is far from my home in Minnesota, and watch a trailer go past me with a set of OmegaStraps on it.
Right on. Yeah, that's cred, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hope it's not yours.
Yeah. Exactly right.
Yeah. And so anyway, what I wanted to do, may I show you?
Yeah. Let's look at some of the features.
Okay.
There's one other thing you didn't mention that I remember you solved also magnificently, and that was stowing the tail of the strap, right?
Yeah.
Which is a big problem. You see cars or vehicles going down there, and here's this tail flapping, which is very dangerous.
Yeah.
But you kind of came up with a simple, elegant solution.
Well, I do have to
you
give credit, you know, to what you've done in the past. Often Jay has shown how you wrap it up and you do something like this. But there again, it's kind of a time-consuming thing.
It is. You have
and
to,
then, you know, it still bounces around and all. And so when I would go up north with my trailer full of everything, I had like 25 straps on it, and I would have 25 tails, and in the wind they would sit and go like that, and they'd get tighter and tighter and tighter.
Yeah, it's actually putting more and more tension on what you've tied
up. And so then I'd get there and I'd spend my first half hour of my vacation. Sometimes I got my knife out and I just said,
let's be truthful here, right? You just said that, I'm done.
I said, you know, with all this, there's got to be a better way. I was so frustrated. And, you know, I would unload my kayak to adjust something, and boom, it'd fall to the ground because I'd opened the strap and it was gone.
Right.
And I said, if somebody would just put a knob on that thing, I'd be able to control it. So if I opened it up, I could then hold this and then just close it again real quick, loosen it one notch, and then I would be able to...
A controlled release, or just a little...
Yeah. I mean, what happens... I have motorcycles. If I forget to put my kickstand down when I've been hauling it, and I open this up, the motorcycle crash and bang with the regular one. With this one, I can go, oh yeah, because I've got my hand on the knob and I can control it. So the thing evolved, though. I did that because I didn't like jams, and I didn't want to have things falling apart. But then one day I was driving up the hill to my house and said, I've got another thing.
A flash of inspiration.
That's right.
Right.
And that was... loading the thing. You know how it goes. You open it up and you've got your videos.
Yeah, the videos
show it's like an elbow, and you feed it through, and then you feed it out. And while that works really well, I think it takes, again, more time, and it's a visual.
Right.
And so what I wanted was something that was really intuitive and simple, and you could do it in the dark or with your eyes closed. And so what I did is I created a whole new assembly. Yes, that looks a lot like a regular ratchet strap, but the cam's different, the slots are different, the gear is different, and it's all different so that you could go like this, and it would always just stop right there in loading position. So now it even says load slot. And so-
Right. One thing that was probably not obvious to them is when you rotated that, there's actually a stop that stops it where that slot right there is horizontal,
Yes.
regular to load.
And so I can do this with my eyes closed.
We were doing that last night. We're
right.
doing it and loading
So
these
if
without seeing them.
If I'm in the dark, I now just know that slot's right there. You can feel it right out, and then you can do your initial tension.
Right.
Just by turning this and then finish it off
Right on.
this way.
And that's a real deal thing, is that many times you are using these devices in low light, no light situations. You're at the end of a camping trip or
Yes.
getting ready to load out, and
Yep.
now you're fiddling with something and trying to get it light and all that, but you can literally, because of the position, be able to do this with no light.
And you know what I found out? You people are very adamant and very set in your ways with using ratchet straps. So if this is being watched by people who regularly use ratchet straps, they're also the ones that say, yeah, but I always roll it up this way and I do that and it's just easy and I never get a jam. Well, you do, and these things happen. And I wasn't trying to make the way you do it wrong. I was just trying to come up with an easier way for everybody.
Well said. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And so I got that knob on there and I went to see my friend Kirby. Best friends since second grade. You've probably got one of these.
Yeah, we do.
Yep. And I said, what do you think? And he goes, what are you going to do about the hook that always falls off? I went, yeah, he's right.
And we've all
hook-
done it, right?
right.
You secure it on one side of the
Yep.
trailer, put it on the load, go to the other side, find out that it's come off, you're ratcheting it up, and here comes the hook.
So the
because it
hook's
fell
always
off,
falling
right?
off. And you know, there's the gated ones. So you can buy the ones with the
Yep.
gate, but most times you put them over something and it just holds the gate open.
Right.
So that doesn't work. And then they have some other configurations. But what I did is I found some way of doing it that worked in almost all applications.
Okay.
Rather than just that special few. And with this, it works great on stake pockets on trailers. People, you know, you hook like that, and then you got it in your teeth, and you're over trying to load
Keep
it
it
on
under
the other
tension,
side.
right?
Next
Yeah.
thing you know, it falls off. It falls
Goes right
down.
through the
Or
the
worse
stake
yet,
pocket.
what if you're driving along, the strap loosens up some, then it falls down, goes
Yeah.
under the tire, blows everything up. And so what this does, you can drop it through the stake pocket, bend that over, and under all circumstances now you know it'll stay there.
Right, it's
Just
not
as
going to
simple
drop
as
through.
that.
Right on.
Yeah.
And so whether it's in the initial setup of the load or while it's in transit, if something loosens or
Right.
whatever,
And-
you don't have a dangerous situation.
And you can gate it in
developing.
any way. You can wrap it around
Right.
like that. So this wire is very flexible, and it just allows you to find just about any situation where you can make something work in order to keep it in place. I named it Sarah because I'm not yelling for Sarah now.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. All right. Now, let me be devil's advocate
Yes.
here. I'm looking at that wire and say, hey, how long is that going to last? And I mean, if I use this a lot and I'm flexing it out, is it going to break?
Someday.
And if it does break,
Yep.
what's the solution?
I'm going to show you on this other one the solution that I've created, because this one's just a little easier, and we've redesigned that one now. We're coming out with an all-new product within the next few weeks. Sourcing is a whole other issue for
Right.
us to talk about.
Yeah, and you're trying to keep domestic as much as you
But
can. And
if this
all
wire's
these things, yeah.
if this wire's gone, I've made it so that you can just take. Now, in this case, I'm just going to use the wire to open it up, but you can just take and put a new. This is simply a number 12. Well, this one, excuse me, is a number 14, just out of a Romex cable.
Right. So
And-
common electrical
Yep.
conduit. I mean, conductor.
Almost all people. Well, those of us who
Our
dabble in
makers
all
and
things,
dabble. We got scrap wire
have
laying
something
around.
like that
Sure.
sitting in your garage, and then you just put it in and put a new one on. And so that this is our new hook style. This is on our newest one. It's going to be
Yeah.
a little different hook because this is the sample I'm showing you that
Right.
was just sent to us by the factory. So,
Beautifully finished, by the way. I love the finish on these hooks. Look at this. These are like
Yeah.
automotive finish.
what we wanted to do is
Not the rubber coating stuff.
Yeah,
These
the
are very
rubber coating
durable.
is always, they say it's padded and it'll stop damage to things, but my experience has been I get one use out of them.
Right.
And then it rips and then the thing rusts underneath. So we went for an automotive finish on this so that it'll stay nice.
I love beautiful tools, and this is one of them.
It'll
Yeah.
lose a little paint. We also went for that on the ratchet itself.
Okay, how so?
And that is on every part of this ratchet, it's going to have an automotive finish. So it's not only got two
I think they're
layers.
so pretty. Those are the nicest looking ratchet straps I have ever seen.
Yeah, okay. I mean, quite honestly, when it's all wrapped up, and I'm going to show you how this does it. This is just,
another thing you solved the problem here. Go ahead.
This is just a great looking ratchet strap. So yeah, one of the things is when you're traveling, I was talking about how you have to tie off the tail.
Yes.
And I'm going to show an abbreviated version here. But on this new 1.5" strap here, let's say, for example, you had that much excess tail.
Yep.
And you wanted to get rid of it. So you just wrap it around the knob like this, no tying it off anywhere. And then it's going to be a little difficult when I'm doing it by hand this way because it's not stretched tight between 2 points. But then you just put that around there.
Right.
And then when you get to where you're going, pull that off, undo it. And
so
that's all it took.
Something I saw that I thought was pretty cool. One, you can be as orderly as you want.
Right.
You could stack that, make it look beautiful. Or if you're in a hurry and you just want to get the job done, it works for both. It's just as secure either way with that keeper coming around.
Yep. That keeper was the best that I could get. And so what we've done is we've created something that not only stores the excess tail, but it also stores the whole strap. So that when you're all finished using it, you can spend about 30 seconds and wrap the whole thing up with itself, and you end up with something like this.
Right.
Now I get people.
The bucket is gone forever.
Yeah.
Right? Well, if you're in a bucket, you can just pull them out. But when they're done like this,
what we say is if it's in a bucket or it's a mess, it's your fault. OmegaStrap gave you a way of, having it be
makes sense.
A nice, clean shape like that. And you can do that in that one, or we have, we started out with the 1 inch. That's the one that's probably the singularly most popular for all people on just regular jobs. But there's a real interest in the 1.5 inch, and the bigger this one's going to be a 3,500 pound 1.5 inch strap. And it's going to be 15 feet long. Like I said, the automotive finish on it should keep it better. We haven't done the winter test yet.
Yeah.
I did do the winter test on these, on our smaller 1 inch.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. Tell them about that. What did you do?
I put 2 kayaks on top of my old Jeep, and I set it out in the sun for 11 months over the whole course of the winter.
So harsh weather, harsh conditions.
And it faded a little bit on the knob, and it faded a little bit on the elastic band, but they're in my trailer, and I'm using them today. They were just as viable when I took them off 11 months later of UV exposure. So I thought that was a good experiment.
Something you mentioned earlier, Brad, was the whole idea of controlled release. And I want to make sure that we don't just kind of speed by that and we give that a little bit more detail. In my mind, that is one of the main differentiators for your product. You've taken something that was either on or off, and now you can control it. Give us a little bit more on that and how that works.
Well, that's absolutely the reason why I put the knob on there in the first place. I would open it up, and the items I was working with, like kayaks, would fall off my trailer. And so I wanted to be able to open it up with a grip on the knob, and then I could either release it slowly.
Okay.
Or if it was getting away from me, I just closed the thing again.
Lock it back up, and it stopped.
And so then I found that, I got enough leverage on the knob that I could work with something heavy. And so I needed to change the rear main seal on my old work truck.
Okay.
And so I happen to have an auto lift, which is really cool. I just got that.
My brother has one. It's just unbelievable. Anyway,
but
go
I
ahead.
put it up on the lift, invited my mechanic friend over who really loved my straps. And he said, "Where's your transmission lift?" And I said, "Oh, wait, we're going to try something different. We're going to use ratchet straps." And he said,
like Bubba, hey, watch this.
I know. He said, "See you Friday." Once you rented your lift. But I said, "No, just bear with me." And we ran one from frame under the tranny.
So you did like a sling.
We did a sling with 2 straps, and we loosened it up. And then you're able to just open this and close it when you're holding onto the knob. And you can let it off one at a time. Now, granted, I'm kind of a pro with this thing because it's mine. But, I mean, if you buy this thing and start putting it into the different applications, I use it for stair rails, for putting in...
that's one of your skill things. Is you're a skilled carpenter and finished carpenter and stuff. So you use it in that sense.
I use it in that sense. I use it for putting island cabinetry together because I'm able to micro adjust it because they make straps just for doing that. But if you open them up, everything just fell apart. Like a stairway.
So now you could just release a little.
Yep. And so it gives me that control over it that you just don't have with any other strap. So not only that, but I did let those down. I took a third strap, the transmission, I pulled it back to the axle, cranked it back, so I had about that much room, replaced the engine seal, and then just cranked it back up.
And
voila.
Went the other way and it was all
Yeah.
done. I'm sure the straps are a little dirty, but they did the job and they were clean.
They were black.
That's right. There's a reason for that. My sense is some of the best uses for this thing are yet to be discovered by people that use it in the field.
I absolutely agree.
Our viewers.
Yeah.
They're going to come up with stuff.
Yep, they will. And having that control over how you use them is just probably the single best thing. And so what I tell people is buy a set, figure out how they work. And now somebody will hand me a regular strap and I look at it and go, I'll get mine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. Let's suppose somebody wants to know more about this or knows where to go and get them or more information. Where do they visit you?
My new t-shirt will say at OmegaStrap.com.
Okay.
Yep. OmegaStrap.com. And we can go there. Our new site's going up and maybe is up already. But it's going to be an interactive site and it's going to have a lot of information on it. We're going to work at continuing to create a line. We're trying to create a brand here.
We have some right here. We're showing you. They're just some of the product line that are.
Yeah. And we have a real goal to create a brand of OmegaStrap that includes not only some straps, but some other things that you'll find really cool and useful as well.
And you guys are on the road a lot, aren't you, promoting this product?
Yeah, we're actually going to be traveling down through the east. We're going to Louisville and to Knoxville and to Daytona. And we're going to be selling at different fairs down there.
Right on.
And then after that, we're going to find some more. We've sort of taken on the motorhome life for a while to go out and promote our strap. And we're going to try and make it a real e-commerce company, and we're going to try and make it a real friendly company.
Right on.
And little things like we're trying to figure out, our warranty is this.
Okay.
You know? With a lot of them, you have to sign up, send in the registration form, all that business. The OmegaStrap warranty is if you think it's our fault, let us know. We'll take care of it. And if you think it's your fault, then please buy more.
Fair enough. I like their philosophy. Brad, this has been very helpful. Again, you can go and visit OmegaStrap. You can watch the in panel in just a moment here if you'd like to see the earlier review that we did on the product. And you can be looking for ongoing as new products come out. Like I said, we love to support inventors and entrepreneurs like Brad and Sarah and get them in front of people because your approach is to find a real problem and a real solution to it. We don't believe in pitching product. We'd like to provide solutions to you. And I don't make a cent off of this sort of thing.
I'm not paying you.
Not a bit. We just like to get good products in front of people that solve things. And so enjoy that. So take a look at that in panel. And while you're at it, there's another video that YouTube thinks is perfect for you out of our catalog. Enjoy it. Until the next time, this is Dirt Farmer Jay. Godspeed to you, Brad.
And maybe
to
until
Sarah.
next time, this is Brad Willodson. And I have to tell you all, he's a great man on this side of the camera as well.
Until the next time, this is Dirt Farmer Jay from DirtFarmerJ.com.